Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I'm here live in London doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Conflict and Courage. The title today, A Monument of Stones. 2 Samuel 18 verse 17, and they took Absalom, cast him into the great pit in the wood, and laid a very great heap of stones upon him. David and all his company, warriors and statesmen, old men and youth, women and little children, in the darkness of night crossed the deep and swift flowing river. Hushai's counsel had achieved its object, gaining for David opportunity for escape. But the rash and impetuous prince could not be long restrained, and he soon set out in pursuit of his father. The place of battle was a wood near Jordan, in which the great numbers of Absalom's army were only a disadvantage to him. Among the thickets and marshes of the forest, these undisciplined troops became confused and unmanageable. Absalom, seeing that the day was lost, had turned to flee, when his head was caught between the branches of a wide-spreading tree, and his mule going out from under him, he was left helplessly suspended, a prey to his enemies. In this condition he was found by a soldier who, for fear of displeasing the king, spared Absalom, had but reported to Joab what he had seen. Joab was restrained by no scruples. He had befriended Absalom, having twice secured his reconciliation with David, and the trust had been shamelessly betrayed. But for the advantages gained by Absalom through Joab's intercession, this rebellion, with all its horrors, could never have occurred. Now it was in Joab's power at one blow to destroy the instigator of all this evil. And he took 3 darts in his hand, thrust them through the heart of Absalom. Thus perished the instigators of rebellion in Israel. Ahithophel had died by his own hand. The princely Absalom, whose glorious beauty had been the pride of Israel, had been cut down in the vigour of his youth, his dead body thrust into a pit and covered with a heap of stones, in token of everlasting reproach. During this lifetime, Absalom had reared for himself a costly monument in the king's dale, but the only memorial which marked his grave was that heap of stones in the wilderness. A monument of stones. So if you listened to yesterday's, we were talking about how Hushai was of the king's council, had interceded or intersposed of what's his name again? What's that guy's name? I'll never remember it. Ahithophel. That's why I didn't remember. Ahithophel was the counsel for Absalom, and he had struck up a cunning plan for Absalom. But Absalom then consulted Hushai, who gave Absalom an alternative plan, but he played into Absalom's hands, and Absalom's pride and ego got in the way. And the plan that could have won him the kingdom of David didn't happen because Ahithophel's plan was not chosen, and Absalom went with Hushai's plan. Now, Hushai's plan delayed things more and allowed David and his family to escape. And therefore, ultimately what happens is everyone were able to catch up with Absalom. As it says here, Absalom had a wonderful, supposedly wonderful mane of hair. And as said here, when he was fleeing, because there was lots of trees and bushes and thickets, his hair got caught and he was left hanging in the tree by his hair. And then Joab came and killed him. Moral to this story: Absalom was so proud, full of self, loved himself more than he loved anyone, even God. And he had erected for himself a memorial, a monument. But the only one that is ever remembered is the heap of stones that were laid upon him when he was put in the pit after his death. And it reminds me of a post I saw, I don't know if it was on some other social media, where it was showing a rich man, all in nice rich clothing, good shoes, hairstyle, and you see a car in the background. Then you see a poor man, holes in his shoes, raggedy clothes, dirty face, messy hair. And for both of them, an arrow coming from each, both went down to a grave dug in the ground. Principally saying, it doesn't matter what you do in this lifetime, you're going to end up in the same place. And you can't take anything with you. So all the money you have, all the wealth, all the clothes, you can't take that with you. But if you have love in your heart and serve God, there is a place for you, and it's not to stay in that grave. God bless you.